They told us it was just a comet, a harmless flyby. A beautiful interstellar traveler brushing past our solar system with a shimmering tail of frozen gas. But the numbers have changed. Because what astronomers at Harvard and NASA are now whispering, off the record, isn't about stardust anymore. It's about intention, about engineering, about something from the stars, headed straight for Mars, and possibly much more. And the terrifying possibility that we never did. The first sighting came on July 1st, a streak of icy brilliance, first registered by the Atlas Survey telescope in Hawaii. At first, it was logged as a typical comet. Unusual, yes, because of its interstellar origin, but still within the bounds of cometary behavior. Then came the anomalies. Its velocity, nearly 87 kilometers per second relative to the Sun, making it the fastest inbound object ever recorded from beyond the solar system. Its path, not just precise, but actively tightening as if correcting itself mid-flight, and its behavior, rhythmic, pulsing. Not like a comet at all. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb and his team were the first to raise the alarm. What they saw wasn't the chaotic venting of a natural object, it was structured, timed, controlled, and possibly directed. New calculations began flooding in. NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory cross-checked the Harvard data. The verdict? The object's course wasn't just unusual, it was converging. With Mars. Not in the distant future, not in millennia, but soon. September 26, 2025. That's when 3I Atlas will pass within just 1.95 million kilometers of the red planet, close enough for Mars's gravity to tug at it. Close enough that even a minor course correction could change everything. And those course corrections are happening. Not randomly, not naturally, but in timed bursts every 17 minutes on the dot. Think about that. Imagine a spacecraft drifting through deep space. To steer, it fires tiny thrusters, gas jets, synchronized, deliberate, controlled. Now imagine 3I Atlas doing the same thing. Spectroscopy from Gemini South in Chile revealed ultraviolet spikes in the comet's tail, flashes of energy far beyond what's seen in any known comet. Instead of random outgassing from solar heating, the emissions came in perfect rhythm. Every 17 minutes, like clockwork. Like attitude control thrusters, and each pulse nudges the object closer to Mars's orbital plane. At its current mass, estimated at over 10 billion tons with a metallic core potentially 400 meters wide, a direct collision would unleash the equivalent of 2 million megatons of TNT. That's tens of thousands of times more powerful than the most powerful nuclear weapon ever detonated on Earth. It wouldn't just scar Mars, it could change it. NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, MRO, has been quietly repurposed as an early warning system. Goldstone's high-gain antennas are bouncing radar off the object's core. The early results? Hard returns, metallic echoes. Not soft, icy reflections like we'd expect from a typical comet. Some scientists now believe the core of 3I Atlas may not be natural at all, that it may be an artificial payload hidden beneath a shell of ice and dust, camouflaged for deep space, shielded for impact. A messenger, or worse, a probe. And the more we look, the stranger it gets. Mars Express, the European orbiter, recently captured something even more bizarre. 3 glinting objects in triangular formation high above Mars's atmosphere. At first dismissed as cosmic rays or camera noise, they reappeared. 3 consecutive orbits, same position, same formation. Were they ejected from 3I Atlas, scouts, seeding devices? We don't know. But Harvard's latest preprint, currently under peer review, proposes a radical hypothesis that 3I Atlas is not a comet at all, but an engineered interstellar vehicle using sublimated gas to adjust its approach vector. To graze Mars, or to impact it. Here's the part no one is saying out loud. If 3I Atlas is deliberate, if it was launched, it might not be a random encounter. It might be a test, an experiment, or even a message. Picture this. An alien civilization, millions of years more advanced than us, wants to contact or warn other intelligent species. But instead of using radio, they use impact. They send engineered comets into planetary systems, not to destroy, but to unlock, to deposit data, to release dormant technology, to awaken something buried long ago. Is it possible that 3I Atlas isn't the danger, but Mars is? Ancient lore from Earth has long linked Mars to catastrophe. From Babylon to Mesoamerica, the Red Planet was seen not as a god of war, but a place where war began. Some theorists suggest that intelligent life may have once evolved on Mars and fled. What if 3I Atlas is returning? What if it was triggered by something we did? A rover drilling into the wrong sediment layer. A radar pulse from Earth that bounced just right. A change in solar output, something that activated a return signal. And now 3I Atlas is responding, not randomly, but specifically, to us. And Mars is just the staging ground. And here's where things get even darker. Because inside multiple space agencies, NASA, ESA, Roscosmos, JAXA, silent emergency task forces have been activated. Leaked memos suggest mission planners are debating whether to intercept 3I Atlas, to divert it, or to destroy it. But what if that's exactly what we're not supposed to do? If it's a probe, destroying it could be interpreted as aggression. If it's a trigger, that act could awaken something far worse. A containment failsafe, a sleeper protocol, a signal that we are hostile? And what if, just what if, it's not coming to destroy? What if it's coming to save? Astronomers around the globe have been watching the tail of 3I Atlas split into 3 beams: green, pulsing, eerie. When photographed with high exposure, those green streams appear to converge toward Mars, as if painting a landing vector. Some call them aurora-like emissions. Others call them targeting lasers. Whatever they are, they're not natural. The energy required to produce synchronized gas plumes of this magnitude would require tens of billions of joules, potentially only achievable with a fusion or antimatter reactor. And the synchronization? Far too precise for any known outgassing behavior. It's like watching a spacecraft fly on autopilot, adjusting for turbulence, except the turbulence is gravitational, planetary. And the destination? A red world waiting. If 3I Atlas strikes Mars, even glancingly, the results could be irreversible. A crater 60 kilometers wide, debris flung into Mars orbit, dust injected into the atmosphere, blocking sunlight for decades, and possibly fragments launched toward Earth. Some orbital models now predict that, in the aftermath of an impact, small debris could reach Earth-crossing trajectories within 7 to 15 years. And if any of those fragments carry engineered materials, or worse, biological payloads, we may be facing an interstellar contamination event, or an invitation to join something much larger, because not all viruses are bad. Some reprogram, some evolve, some unlock, and maybe that's what 3I Atlas is here to do. So where does this leave us? With a countdown, a trajectory, and silence from the agencies that know the most. NASA remains quiet. ESA posts vague updates. Roscosmos refuses to comment. But insiders say every major space telescope, from Hubble to James Webb, is now tracking 3I Atlas. Every data packet, every micropulse, every unexplained flicker in its tail. And they're watching for one final signal, the last course correction. If it happens between September 19th and 25th, the object may lower its flyby path to under 50,000 kilometers. That's closer than Phobos, closer than any interstellar object has ever come, and close enough to make contact. So what do you believe? Is 3I Atlas a rock, a probe, a weapon, a rescue mission, or something else? We may not have to wait long to find out, because as Mars rises in the eastern sky this September, something from another star is threading the cosmic needle, adjusting its path with every breath of gas, every pulse of green light, every flicker of something watching us back. And if the numbers hold, we'll know soon, very soon. If this shook you, subscribe now. The truth isn't coming. It's already inbound. And it's traveling at 87 kilometers per second.